Hello everyone and welcome to Siriana Tarot. This is a singles new love reading for Virgo. We're going to look at the kind of love you're ready to experience now based on the growth you've already done. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Clear messages, advice, and guidance for my Virgos, please. All right, so we have the Ace of Cups. All right, beautiful. Your person is also showing up as the Page of Swords, so possible Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy. They're viewing you as the Two of Swords, Moon in Libra, so holding back a little bit. And the connection, Virgo, we see the Ten of Pentacles, so real potential for abundance and longevity, building a legacy together. And we see the Knight of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So it seems to me like this is somebody who's really positive, they're passionate, they're playful, they're sexy and attractive. They've got a lot of love to give. And I feel like Virgo, whether you know it or not, you've really been opening this person's heart chakra. All right, so why do we have the Ace of Cups here? And the Ace of Swords. So Virgo, it does feel like this is someone completely brand new. I also feel like there's a really strong intellectual connection, an intellectual match. This is somebody who's honest, open, transparent. So I feel like you're not going to have to decode or unmask anything here about this person. I feel like they're generally outgoing. They enjoy, social engagements, being around friends, family, parties. The Knight of Wands here, she always looks like such a party person. And it feels brand new, Virgo. And we see the Moon in reverse, Cancer, Pisces energy. Like I said, this is somebody who is defined by trust and transparency. So like I said, there's no decoding, there's no game playing. Even if they do start off as a bit of a secret admirer here with the Page of Swords, I think they're going to be pretty honest about how they're feeling. And a lot of my Virgos, you may not see this coming. You might meet this person at a time of personal healing or when you're experiencing some sort of disappointment. It looks like you might be holding back from dating. All right. So I feel like this might be a really pleasant surprise. There's a lot of potential here. Again, I'm seeing potential for friendship, understanding, authenticity, you two mirroring each other in a lot of ways. All right, so we see strong water, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. So I do definitely see that Cancer, Pisces with that moon. This person closed off. This person has been deeply wounded and trust must be established to open their heart. So with the Two of Swords, I feel like, again, you may be experiencing your own personal disappointment or heartache, and this person gets that. They've experienced that as well. And so I feel like there's an immediate camaraderie, and it's definitely not a misery loves company vibe, but it's just this camaraderie here. All right, we see traveler. So this person may be someone who enjoys new experiences, places, and people. I do get that with the Knight of Wands here. They have great stories to tell about their travels, their experiences. They're quite charismatic. All right, they could be a Taurus or have Taurus placements, but we see that, Virgo, you will cross paths when you least expect it or in an unexpected manner. Oh, I love this for you. Okay, so the Page of Swords tells me this is somebody who definitely does their homework, but I feel like this is somebody who's smart. This is somebody who's, they're good at expressing their feelings. This is somebody who's constantly in a state of learning. I feel like they could be defined by curiosity. They love to experiment and try new things. All right. They love nature. And they could be a grandparent. That's not going to be for all of you. It will be confirmation for some of my Virgos out there. But more so with this grandparent energy, I feel like this really could be someone who maybe they have a close-knit relationship with their grandparents, or maybe they were raised by a grandparent. All right, let's see what else we need to know. What else do my Virgos need to know about this person? All right, yeah, this person is someone who's creative. You may even end up being their creative muse, Virgo. But I also feel like this is someone who's just imagining a future with you, what they want to create with you, the adventures you two are going to have. They could be an artist or creative in their own right. Now, this person may be somebody here who acts kind of unbothered, but they've been through a lot. And I feel like it's not because they don't care and not because they're arrogant or they think they're above it all, but this is someone who's probably experienced a lot. And so they know like when to freak out and when not to freak out. And I feel like this is somebody who's probably pretty steady. All right, and we see toil and labor. Some of you know this person through work. Now that could mean your coworkers, but it can also just mean there's something about work that brings you two together. You might go into their job, you know, they might come into yours. With toil and labor here as well. You know, this is somebody who's hardworking. You know, this is somebody, you know, I do think they're sexy and attractive, and I do think they stand out, but they're not about all the flash either. Like, this person is not afraid to roll up their sleeves and get their hands dirty, and no matter what they're doing. All right, we see this person may have 3 siblings or may come from a larger family. They've lived in more than one country. Okay. We see they have dreams about you. Now, this is my deja vu card, Virgo. So some of you may experience deja vu with this person, or they experience it with you. Also, just remember these really specific messages. They're going to be confirmation for some of you, but they're not going to resonate with all of you. Like, they have 3 siblings, or they've lived in more than one country, or they have, you know, black hair or something like that. They're going to be confirmation messages for some of you out there. This person has a severe allergy, okay? And we see that they have been extremely hurt by a loved one in the past. So this is somebody who knows heartbreak, but, you know, or pain. They may have even lost a loved one or something like that. But this is somebody who, you know, again, despite that, they're still very high vibrational. I feel like they've learned a lot of lessons. I feel like they're going to feel very safe for you, Virgo, emotionally safe for you, because they've been through so much, okay? And they don't and they've learned from it. They're stronger because of it. They're viewing you as the 2 of Swords. They see that you're holding back, again, most likely because you've experienced your own heartbreak or loss. But I also think they feel like you two mirror each other. All right, and we have the Queen of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. So you both might have strong water placements. But I feel with this Queen of Cups, it's somebody who's very loving, somebody very nurturing. They see you as somebody who's intuitive and creative in your own right. And the 3 of Pentacles, but they might be worried about third-party interference, or they might be worried that you two work together or something like that. But the 3 of Pentacles in reverse and the 2 of Swords tells me they might think or know or find out that you do have a choice to make here, whether it's between that ex that some of you might still be hurting from, or there are other options available to you. But Virgo, you're going to be feeling the King of Cups. So I feel like the King and the Queen of Cups coming through here tells me you two are a really lovely match, a really good match, both creative and loving. You get each other on an emotional level. So this, you know, not surprised that the King and the Queen of Cups end up married there with that 10 of Pentacles. All right, but let's see, or in a higher level of commitment. But let's go ahead and see what else they notice about you or really like about you. And we see the warrior spirit. Yeah, so you have strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will. I mean, that is Virgo energy for me. Heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice, and conquering the ego. So they see you as strong, they admire that, and they see you as the saboteur archetype. Highlights your fear of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to your life. So again, they also see that you're somebody who's not afraid to make meaningful change, to get out of a rut, or to make a real difference in your life. And Virgo, they see you as a rebel. I love that. Challenges authority to affect social change. Reject spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs. Yeah, so they see you as somebody who's not afraid to march to the beat of your own drum, do your own thing, you're independent, you know, you buck the system when you feel like it's not in alignment with you. I love that. All right, the 10 of Pentacles tells me there's real potential for abundance and longevity here, Virgo. All right, so we have reclaiming emotional agency. So this connection reminds you that choice remains yours. Okay, beautiful. and through everyday routine, which is very much so that like Three of Pentacles vibe I'm getting, that work energy. So this meeting occurs in an ordinary recurring setting, and alignment reveals itself through consistency rather than spectacle. All right, and growth oriented. This person is committed to learning from experiences. They value evolution over perfection. I definitely see that there with that Page of Swords, without a doubt. And we see possibility without pressure, which I think is going to feel really good, that this connection allows space for organic development. All right. So let's see what else my Virgos need to know here, please. What else do my Virgos need to know here, please? Ooh. So we see soulmate. No surprise with the King and the Queen of Cups. You have found your romantic counterpart. We also see third party coming through, which again, it feels like it's much more on your side than on theirs. So my Virgos, you're still healing from someone, or maybe you're still dealing with someone, or you don't know where you stand with somebody else. All right, but there are going to be sudden feelings that this is the one. You're going to be falling in love with this person. I think you'll forget all about that third party or that ex or whoever that is that wants to kind of come through here. All right, Virgo, let's see what else we need to know about dates and times. You're going to have to wait just a little bit longer, and we see next month. Now, I am doing this reading at the very end of June, so, it may be as early as July that this connection unfolds for you, Virgo. All right, I'm going to leave it here, sending you love and light. Take care.